Go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Tami.
And I'm Tami.
And we're from this YouTube channel and the blog called Nutmeg Notebook. So we're really happy to have you here today. This is where we share all about our whole food, plant-based lifestyle.
Yes, it is. We have, this is a Q&A Sunday, or a conversation Sunday, or what Dylan calls them hangouts.
Oh, yes.
But we did get some submitted questions in before the show, and so Tammy's done some research and has some answers lined up for some folks that turned in their homework early. Thank you so much.
While you talk for a second and give them directions, I'm going to grab something.
Okay. All right. So our moderators are here with us today, Jesse and Randy. Usually we're also joined by Tiffany Wilkerson, one of our three moderators, but she is unavailable at the moment. She might catch up with us later. And those of you that have seen Tiffany in our moderator role on our channel here, she was featured in the spring issue of Health Science magazine. So her Tami, what do they call it? The featured member story section.
I've got the magazine right here.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we're missing Tiffany right now, but you can catch up with her in the Health Science magazine. So, John, good to see you again here today. I noticed you were in the chat feed. If anybody can answer John's question about things going on in Florida, that would be great.
Here's Tiffany.
There she is. Okay. Yeah.
And a nice picture of her family and her story. So it was really fun. In the members section, all about a spotlight on members.
Member spotlight section. That's what I was trying to
That's what you were going for.
So anyway, yeah, busy day today on media with the summit that we've been talking about through various emails and online communications was on this morning. We've been listening to that in the beginning of our day. Chef AJ probably had a show or two in there. Tonight we do have the Oscars for those of you that are movie buffs that start at 5 o'clock California time in approximately 1 hour.
Oh, hand me that book, because I think AJ interviewed the author today. And yeah. I just got this. I had ordered this book because I saw that Dr. Yami talked about it on Instagram, and I ordered it for our grandkids. And it's all about helping them breathe and be calm when they get anxious or upset about something. And I think AJ interviewed this author today. I didn't have time to watch it, but
well, I'll be adding that to our Amazon library. I just spotted it today. So
it's called I Am a Peaceful Goldfish. And so it's a story about teaching the kids go, oh, I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to breathe like the goldfish breathes. And so I thought it was fun.
What if you want to be an angelfish or a pufferfish or an octopus?
You could be that too. Or it talks about acting like an elephant or all kinds of fun stuff. Right. I thought it'd be fun for the grandkids.
Okay. All right. So there are some questions here that have already come in.
Wow.
So we can...
In the chat?
Yes.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Okay. Working from the bottom up, the most recent question was from Renee, and she says, I have a question about cooking and baking the lentil loaf in the super cube. How long would one bake the loaves in the 1 cup super cubes if you left them in there?
Yeah, I haven't actually done that myself. I'm thinking maybe like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, but you have to check it and see. Yeah. Because I haven't actually done that myself. I know some other people have written to us and told us they did it, but I didn't think to ask them how long it took. So, so you'll just have to experiment with it a little bit. I mean, I would do the same temperature, but obviously it's going to take a little bit less time because
you've been baking in is it a 9x9? You've been
like a 9x5 or something like that.
She's
been a loaf pan.
Baking in the loaf pans, and then she cuts them into those nice slices that you've seen.
Yeah, so I would just check it after 15 minutes. It might take 20. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, and then there was another question that came in. Okay, somebody watched the salad video and they noticed that you made a dozen salads, which is 6 for each of us. And so the question is, what's happening with that one salad meal a day on the 7th day?
Yeah,
we get together with our family on Fridays. And so we usually do, Tami will prepare a whole food plant-based meal, or we'll bring something vegan in from one of our approved vegan restaurants. So there is one.
There's usually an extra salad for me because you usually skip a day or so in there somewhere.
I'll do soup or dump soup or a vegan burrito.
He'll decide he doesn't want something cold, so I get his extra salad. And then on that...
Yeah, that's from Marcia asked that we were short.
Yeah, and then on that, so I usually make them. When we run out, we go buy the new stuff and make more.
Yeah. So most days, for me, I eat a salad most days,
but not every day.
That's a safe assessment. So
yeah, he usually skips one day, and then I get his salad.
Okay. So anyway, as we move forward, please give me 4 question marks before and after, or if you can find those really big emoji red question marks or green or any color you choose, those are very helpful for me as well. And then you'll have to do 4 of those. You have to do them on both ends of the question. Tami is going to address some of the prepared questions. And then we want to have questions come through in the chat feed as we move through the coming hour. So Dog Mom is asking, do we all regularly supplement with anything? If so, what brands have you found the best? We just use the vitamin D from Costco and
the B12.
And the B12 from Costco. They're little standard.
And off and on we've taken the Furman vitamins. I just ordered new Furman multivitamin for me,
right.
And you still have some in your container, so.
Yeah.
But and also True North Health Center also sells vitamins. That would be a good, reliable source because they've already done the research. Dr. Furman's already done the research, so.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna. I see you have some stuff prepared there, so I'm gonna switch over to your camera and let you catch up, and I'm gonna go and drop that book into the.
Oh, okay.
I'm dropping it into our Amazon store into the book section. So.
Okay, great. Right. So Terry wrote and said, my name is Terry. I just started watching some of your videos. I'm watching one from a year ago, and you mentioned something about your cholesterol. You talked about some kind of powder, but now you take a pill, and that was AMLA, A-M-L-A. AMLA powder. And if you want to know more about AMLA powder, then I would check out nutritionfacts.org. That's Dr. Greger's site. And he doesn't give his opinions. He only reports what the actual science is. So he looks at all the peer-reviewed studies that come out, and then he makes videos about them. And that's where I heard about AMLA powder. So, and then also, of course, anything with oats is really good as well. Oat groats. I have a video on oat groats and how to cook them and use them in a savory way. And so I do that instead of eating the brown rice, and that works really well for me. But if you go to Dr. Greger's site and look up cholesterol, he has some great videos about that, and I always go by his recommendations. I think they're great. This one you could answer, Tom, so I'm going to come back to it later because it's about the Holland Bowl. Then Candace says, I'm so discouraged. I'm not a chef. I have tried so many recipes and meal plans over the years. Again, today I tried a new recipe, and honestly, it's gross. It has become so wasteful to keep trying strange new foods. It's time-consuming prep and sad results. The food is not delicious, though it may be nutritious. Hubs will no longer even try the new dishes. Yes, taste change, but we are SOS, I'm assuming, free. I am just feeling defeated. Thanks for listening, Candy. And so I can tell you that in the beginning that a lot of times, the food doesn't taste as good because we do need to neuroadapt.
This hair is just bugging me on screen.
my stylist here.
Okay, now you got to back up. You got to back up and be fair here. That was just, I don't know if, we'll see. See, it's sticking way out there.
Oh, I know. It keeps getting caught on stuff. I just got it cut yesterday, and so it might be at an odd length. So it does take time to neuroadapt, and try recipes that are foods that contain the flavors that you do like. Like, we love Mexican food, and so we love any kind of beans and rice and jalapenos and anything that is seasoned really well. And if you haven't tried my chipotle nacho cheese sauce, if you like spicy food, that's delicious. And we make these nachos where we air fry the potatoes, and then you can put taco lentils or beans over the top and corn, and then the chipotle nacho cheese sauce and fresh cilantro and green onions and chopped tomatoes, and it's absolutely delicious. So maybe you need a couple of good cookbooks. So we love Chef AJ's books. I don't think I have any of them out here. Yes, I do, right here. So we love Chef AJ's books and her recipes. My blog has got hundreds of recipes on it that we love, that we think that are delicious. So this is a really good cookbook. Also, Kathy Fisher's book, she's SOS free. These recipes are absolutely delicious that she has as well. And so, I mean, if you find someone who has recipes, who shares the same flavor profile that you like, then you know to stick with those types of recipes. And really, people only have, the experts say, about 10 to 12 recipes that they continually to rotate. And so we just don't have to go and chase a lot of recipes once we get 10 or 12 things that work for us. So maybe share, if you're watching and listening, maybe share with us what kind of flavor profiles you like. Dylan from Well Your World has 2 cooking classes a month, and I think the fee is only like $15, and 1 cooking class, they're on Saturday mornings, but you can watch the replay if you miss it live. And he does simple, easy, quick, fast food that's SOS free once a month. And then the other one is a little more involved recipes, and they do a lot of different ethnic foods that are really delicious. So, and there's also some cooking courses that you can take. Forks Over Knives has one. Also, I just lost Chef Bravo from True North Health Center has a wonderful 2 cooking classes online that are very economical. We can try to post the link to that for you, or if somebody knows what that is that's watching, if you could put the link in the comment section, that would be great. And you can learn little hints and tips that will just make the food delicious. And kind of if you start with an onion and some garlic with every recipe, I mean, that adds a tremendous amount of flavor. So, so hang in there, don't give up, because most of us that are here today, we eat SOS free and whole food plant-based, and we love our food. So I'm sorry that you're having a hard time with it. I'm going to save this one for a minute. And then Liz says, I didn't have time to read these, you guys, because I couldn't get my computer went offline. I couldn't get back online. And then Tom had to go upstairs to his computer and print off the questions that were coming in. I usually like to read them over ahead of time so I kind of have an idea of what the questions are, so I know what my answer is going to be. So Liz says, can I get your thoughts on intermittent fasting? I'm trying to lose weight and I just can't get a straight answer. I've been plant-based for a few years. However, lots of junk food and fake meats. I'm transitioning to whole food plant-based and also wondering about intermittent fasting as well. Thanks for all the information you're giving on your channel. You're welcome, Liz. So, and do you guys know some of the acronyms? Like IF is for intermittent fasting, and WFPB stands for whole food plant-based. And we say JSP quite a bit, and that stands for Japanese sweet potato. Can you go back and close that cupboard door? You left that open and that just drives me crazy. I can't help it. He leaves cupboard doors open.
But I got to put the bottle away when I'm done.
Well, that was good, honey. You got halfway there. So intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fasting just naturally because my hunger cycle just works out that way. So I generally, my first meal of the day is lunch. That's sometime usually between 12 and 2. That's when I have my lunch. And then we have dinner. Sometimes it's at 6, sometimes it's at 7. It depends on how crazy our day is. And then I don't eat again until the next day when I have lunch. And that just works for me. That's just naturally what my body likes to do. So there are some good articles about intermittent fasting. If you go to the True North Health Center website, That's True North, TRUE, True North Health Center website. And they are located in Santa Rosa, California. And they have some articles on their website all about intermittent fasting, and there's different ways to do it. It can be a narrow window that you eat within, but that can vary depending on what you want to do. Some people cut back on their calories for so many days, and then other days they have more. There's just different ways of doing it, and for some people it can give them a boost to help them start losing weight again. So also watch my video on sequencing using calorie density so that you can see what the right foods are to choose from, and that can make a really huge difference. So we have that YouTube video on our YouTube channel. It is called, again, Sequencing Using Calorie Density. And last week we also did a video all about why you may not be losing weight. So you might want to go back and watch last Sunday's video, and I gave lots of hints and tips on that as well. So this one I'm going to save for Tom, and this one. I got a quick
one while you're looking.
Okay, sure.
Rich, when we were talking about vitamin D a little bit ago, was asking about, is the Costco and vegan, is the Nature's Bounty, does that come from Costco or is that from Sunrise?
No, I think we got that one at Costco.
That's what I'm thinking. And they have a long list of what it isn't. No artificial color, no artificial flavor, no sweetener, no preservatives, no sugar, no starch, no milk, no lactose, no gluten, no wheat, no yeast, no fish, and sodium free. So it's got a long list of what it isn't.
But it doesn't necessarily say
and
vegan.
There's not the official vegan symbol on it, but they're not stating that they have. They're stating that there's not any animal, in here. So it's going to be probably like the least worst of what's going on so far as what you can get at Costco. So not specifically stating vegan, but contains no milk and no fish.
Well, the multi I have coming from Dr. Furman has everything in it, so I won't have to take separate.
Oh, I was going to say it has milk and fish.
No, it has everything. It has the D and the B12 and all that.
We're talking about what you understand why.
I get it.
It has, Dr. Furman is sending you a vitamin with everything in it? Salt,
no,
oil,
it has
sugar,
everything in it that I need.
It should be SOS free, I would think.
That's so funny. Okay, so Amy.
Are you jumping back in?
I am jumping back in.
Okay.
So Amy wrote and said, do you have your sprouting materials and seeds set up in your Amazon store? We want to buy, but we want you to get the credit. So thank you so much, Amy. We appreciate that. So here's the deal, you guys. I'm getting tons of questions about the sprouting, and we are new to sprouting. So years ago, I did do some sprouting. I actually started with this small jar. And I bought this, back then Whole Foods had like a section all about sprouting. They sold some seeds and so forth and some jars. So this is just a glass jar with the mesh lid, because you need to be able to drain the seeds with water, rinse them with water and drain them, and then they need to be able to have air circulate while you're in the sprouting. And so after I read the Sprout book, and Fiber Fueled, well, I'm not even done reading the Sprout book, because I started sprouting before I got the book. Because after I read Fiber Fueled, and Dr. B says, oh yeah, we should be sprouting, and we should be sprouting broccoli sprouts. Then we stopped at the health food store, and I got a bigger jar so that I could sprout the broccoli seeds in here. And these actually came, you want to put you back on?
Well, that lid's not on there all the way, right?
They actually came with metal lids, and these plastic inserts fit inside the metal rim of the lid. It's still not on right. And maybe they're switched. Are they switched? No, this one did go with this one.
No, the screen isn't in the right position.
Okay. So
the guy didn't put it all the way
guy
back.
didn't put it back together right. Are you the guy?
There's a story about these came with this metal ring. That is real, all chrome and shiny and looking really official and nice. But Tami read in the book.
Well, no, Instagram from Doug Evans.
Okay, that it corrodes, and her older one, the little one, I looked at it and noticed that it was starting to rust out. So it was a very tedious process to pry this plastic rim out of that metal thing and get rid of it, because it's just purely for cosmetic purposes. And so now this is on there better. So we're just going to be ordering plastic lids on any future jars.
Yes.
I think. So.
And we probably won't be able to find replacements for these, so we'll just have to get quart size canning jars. And so anyway, my answer is we do have a few things.
What was the question? Oh,
do you have stuff on Amazon?
Yeah, I have it.
So we do have a few things on Amazon, but we are still searching for exactly what we want. But if you go on our Amazon page, even if we don't have something listed, if you purchase your things by entering through our Amazon page, we will get credit for the sale.
Yeah, if you key in Nutmeg Notebook, Amazon.com/shop/Nutmeg Notebook, it takes you here to this page. And we're going to be doing some product videos for Amazon and posting them here as we move forward. But here's the important part: is these categories. This is stuff that Tami actually uses, that we use daily in our life, and we like it, and then it winds up here. So these lids were in the book. I just added that. It's showing up here. That peaceful, what's it called? Peaceful Goldfish book is right here, where I'm wiggling the mouse. And then she's added a few things. We're looking at these plastic lids that go on a wide mouth quart jar as being a real reasonable solution that's not going to corrode. Here's a metal version, kind of like what we have now, except we have just the plastic piece. So that's just, when you see Tami smiling at you there on the top bar, you're in the right place. And then you can look at all of the categories of items that we have going on there. So anyway, that's what's going on with, as you explore stuff there, then it does support the Nutmeg Notebook channel.
Yes.
But yeah, we're going to be learning more and posting more, and we've been adding these. Are those on screen? Are those?
I don't know if they're on
have
screen.
You showed
Let's
those
show them. I have not. So anyway, these jars do work. We've got this at the health food store, but I'm not 100% satisfied with it because of the lid situation. So, and if you go to Instagram to Doug Evans, who is the author of the Sprout book, which has gotten everybody excited about sprouting. He has a video on there with the hack that Tom used.
It was hard to do. I did it, but it took me a while to tease that metal ring off that plastic rim.
Without breaking the plastic rim.
Yeah, I want to find something where we can have that be a happening deal and buy it the right way to begin with.
Yeah, so we do have these two books on our Amazon store, Fiber Fueled and the Sprout book. Fiber Fueled is all about your gut biome.
I'm going to switch over to your camera.
And Dr. B talks a lot about eating grains and dark leafy greens and sprouting. He's really so into the whole sprouting thing. And if you go to Dr. B's page on Instagram, he actually interviewed Doug Evans, and they talked all about sprouting and talked about how easy it is to do it, how to get started, and why we want to do it. So I'm going to show you here that we sprouted our broccoli sprouts and we sprouted alfalfa sprouts earlier this week. And these are delicious and incredible. I just love them. I mean, we've been buying sprouts, but we decided to jump back in.
And they tend to go bad before you get them used up because you don't know how
you
old
don't
they
know
are.
exactly how long were they sitting in the store.
Randy's asking, are microgreens as healthy as sprouts? Or I'm asking, is it the same thing more or less? Microgreens have more time to grow.
Yeah, I don't have the answer to that, if microgreens are as good as sprouts. Because remember, I'm still new to this.
Yeah,
I'm still
microgreens
learning.
is a whole nother.
That's a whole different thing.
Set of trays or pans or growing
I
situations.
I think Dylan's going to do a show about microgreens because he used to grow them and sell them. So here's what I've learned about sprouting and what's exciting about sprouting. And for one, it's easy, it's affordable. Anybody can do it anywhere. It's not like gardening where you have to have a chunk of land. It doesn't require a lot of time. And it's relatively inexpensive to do it. And the sprouts are super nutrient dense. So all you need is a container, some kind of filter. You can even just use cheesecloth and a rubber band on a canning jar. If you have, or you have a leftover glass jar from marinara sauce or something, and just some cheesecloth and a rubber band to hold the cheesecloth on, and filtered water and some good quality germination seeds. And that's important, and we'll talk about that. And Tom, I had a list on a little card, which I couldn't find before we started, that had the names of the different online sources for seeds.
What's that card there?
This doesn't have it. This had on it my list to you of what I wanted.
Oh.
But now I can't find it. So I didn't know if you had moved it.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
There's some cards over there. You want me to check them?
Yeah, maybe you could check them and see, or check inside that drawer too. So all you need is some filtered water, because you just don't want all the chemicals that are in the water out of the faucet in there. But Doug Evans says don't let that be a deterrent. If that's all you have, that's okay. Go ahead and still sprout, because it will be beneficial to you. Broccoli sprouts in particular have incredible nutrition. So when small plants are first starting to grow, they produce a lot of what's called phytochemicals. And the phytochemicals are what fights off the insects that might destroy the plant. And so it's the plant's defense system against insects and other natural predators that might disrupt their growth pattern. As they get healthier, bigger, and stronger, they lose some of the phytochemicals. But when we take the seeds, let's say the alfalfa seeds, the broccoli seeds, when we take the seeds and we sprout them, we get the highest concentration of phytochemicals that are possible. And they happen to be natural anti-cancer compounds. One of those compounds is called sulforaphane. That's sulforaphane. Sulforaphane. There have been more than 1,000 studies published that have identified sulforaphane as one of the most potent food-derived molecules that have ever been discovered. And then the bioavailability of sulforaphane in the broccoli sprouts is truly amazing, because about 80% of what is ingested finds its way into the body cells, much more so than if you just eat the broccoli. So the sprouts actually have 30 to 50 times the concentration of the cancer protective chemicals that are found in broccoli, according to Johns Hopkins. So that's why sprouting, you can eat like a half a cup of those sprouts and just get a tremendous amount of nutrients and benefit and anti-cancer benefit, as well as it's great for your brain. It's just full of nutrients that are just incredibly good for your entire body. And so you can eat a smaller amount but have even greater benefit. So that's why we want to sprout. And you can sprout, there's all kinds, alfalfa and broccoli and mung beans and radishes and lentils. And I mean, there's a huge wide variety of seeds and legumes that you can sprout. That what you want to do is you want to get organic, and you want to get them from a reliable source. So when I first started sprouting again recently, we just went to the health food store and bought the seeds, but and they're not producing the volume that I see that like Doug Evans or Dr. B gets when I'm watching them on their Instagram accounts. And so we've recently ordered from, I think we ordered from Sprout People. Was that who we ordered from, Tom? Mm-hmm. So we went to Sprout People and ordered from them. I think there's also the Sprout Man. And if anybody has a resource, you can go ahead and put a link to it in the show notes. And as I get more educated about this, I'll have more to share with you about it. So how do you incorporate these? You just add them to the food that you're already eating. So we chop our salads, and then we add the sprouts to the chopped salad. I don't want to chop them up in my salad because I really enjoy the texture and the flavor of them. And so I like them to be on top of the salad. You know, you can add them to anything. You can put them on top of your veggie burgers. They're delicious with that. You can, you know, just anything that you want. You can put them on top of your soup instead. Like we've always liked to chop up arugula and add arugula to the top of our soup, a hot soup that we serve. And so you can also add a handful of broccoli sprouts or alfalfa sprouts to those. And as far as nutrition goes, I don't know what else sprouted equals the broccoli sprouts because I'm still learning, but they're wonderful. So super easy to do. All you do, and we'll do a video about it, but you just take the seeds, and the seeds are tiny. I'll put some in my hand so you can see. These are alfalfa sprouts because we really like the broccoli sprouts better, and so we've really gone through the broccoli sprouts already, and I've used up all the seeds that I bought. But if you can see, they're very tiny, little tiny seeds, and all you do is you put, like I only do a tablespoon of seeds in this size jar, and in this size jar I can do 2 tablespoons, and then I just use filtered water, and we have a charcoal filter on our refrigerator water, so I use that. And you just add like 3 to 4 times more water than the amount of seeds that you put in, and then you let that sit overnight, and then the next morning you just dump that water out, and that's why you need this the lid that has a screen on it. You just dump that water out, put fresh water in, swirl it around a little bit, and then dump that water out, get as much out as you can, and then you turn the jar upside down. So, and you want it to be positioned so that air can get in and circulate because the sprouts need to breathe, they need the fresh air. And I just put them in a bowl with a paper towel in the bottom of the bowl to absorb the excess moisture that comes out. And then you just rinse them twice a day. I rinse them in the morning when I first get up, and then rinse them again in the evening when I'm fixing my dinner, and that's it. And in like 4 days, you have sprouts. And then you rinse them well again and put them in a container in the refrigerator. And you can put a paper towel in the bottom of a container to absorb the extra moisture, and then put them in the refrigerator, and they'll last like 5 to 7 days. And about 3-4 days into having them in the fridge, you do need to rinse them again, give them another nice rinse, and then just eat and enjoy. So that's what I know about sprouting so far.
There was a comment earlier on the sprouts. The sprouts are 5-day-old sprouted seeds, and microgreens are 10-day-old sprouts.
Oh, okay, there you go. And so I was going to say something. Oh, and when they're in the growing phase, you keep them in a darker place. So like in the pantry or in our dining room, we can make our dining room dark. And then on the, after they have filled the jar, oh, you're over there. After they have filled the jar, then you need to give them some natural light. so that they get the chlorophyll, so that they turn green, and because they're not very green
But
until
the little leafy tiny bit at the ends, not
yes,
the roots. The roots
yes.
stay white.
Yeah, the roots stay white, but the little leafy part then will turn green.
Roots?
And the roots.
Roots.
Roots. And they're delicious, and they're so easy to make. So I highly recommend that you follow Dr. B and that you follow Doug Evans on Instagram, because Doug Evans is posting like daily about his sprouting and giving lots of hints and tips. And we need to contact him and see if we can get him on the show. And this book is really a great read also. So, and if you don't want to buy them, see if your library has them. If they don't have them yet, request that they get them in and learn about sprouting and enjoy and add some extra nutrition. Yes.
Are you done with sprouts?
I think I'm done with sprouts, because that's basically all I know right now. I need
well, that's
to,
a lot for a beginner.
I know. I need to finish reading Doug Evans' book.
We need to start a new batch, because we're going to eat those in a couple meals.
I know, but all I have left is alfalfa seeds.
Okay.
But I can start some more alfalfa seeds.
I don't get. Oh, to grow.
To grow.
Oh, so you've got like 2 batches. Those are.
We have I'm all out of broccoli seeds until our order comes.
So that's it for the broccoli. That's like 2 servings.
And Doug Evans says that we need to make sure that we're getting them from a reliable source.
Okay.
Otherwise, your yield won't be as good. The quality of your end product won't be as good.
So when the Sprout People order gets here, then we'll
and so we'll let you know when we get our order from the Sprout People. We will let you know how it goes. I'll
just keep eating basil off my Thai basil plant off the.
So I do have a couple questions.
Well, can I catch up on the feed?
Yes, sure.
Dale Johnson is asking quickly, what are you using the Dr. Rigger's Brol on? Do you put the Brol on your it's one of those acronyms on your salad?
I use the smol because the Brol has gluten in it. So what he's talking about is, and I think that's whose recipes. I haven't gotten to read anything except Tiffany's. Okay, so
Tiffany's here, by the way. She made it.
Oh, hi, Tiffany. We were talking about you. So in the Health Science magazine for the spring edition, the recipes were submitted from Dr. Greger's new book. And so the Brol that is being talked about is here in the recipe section, and that is barley, rye, oats, and lentils. And you cook the grains all together, the barley, rye, and the oats, and the lentils separate because they have different times for being cooked in the pressure cooker. And then you mix the two together, and that makes just a really delicious dish. So I do the smol, which is the gluten-free version, which is sorghum and millet and gluten-free oats, and then I do the lentils separate. And so, and I just use it like you would rice. So I use it like if I'm going to have tacos, I'll just add some salsa to it and turn it into a Mexican flavor, or I'll put it in the bottom of a bowl and add my soup on top of it, or I'll have it as like a nice little side dish with a veggie burger, or I might just add some beans to it and eat it that way. So it's really good. And he also has shared the recipe for free on Instagram. So if you follow Dr. Greger Nutrition Facts on Instagram, he is posting recipes from his How Not to Diet book all the time on there. So check that out.
A question from Amy Wolf is asking, do you find the broccoli sprouts bitter compared to the alfalfa sprouts?
I don't find them to be bitter. Do you?
It's just a different flavor. I mean, I was.
It's a stronger flavor.
I was reaching for the broccoli flavor, and there was a different flavor there, which I liked. I mean, I liked the different flavors.
Yeah.
So
Tom and I don't have a problem with them. I know that some people don't care for.
It might be like cilantro. You like the cilantro, other people don't.
Yes, I love cilantro.
So
I'm going to try to put these so they show on the screen. I actually love them. We don't find them objectionable at all. I know that Chef AJ mentioned online that they're really strong for her. She doesn't really care for the flavor of them. So some people, if you do smoothies, some people are putting like a half a cup in their smoothies because then they just get pulverized and they don't really taste them. But Tom and I actually like the flavor of them, and we find ourselves just eating like a handful of them. When I get them out like this, when we're making our meals, then we just snack on them. So I don't know if that's just because we're used to eating a lot of greens and so they don't taste as bitter to us. I don't know. But some people are more sensitive to a bitter taste. So it could just be an individual preference.
I-58 Farms has mentioning here that the 1 pound of Handy Pantry organic broccoli seeds on Amazon Prime is $31.05. I think we just paid like $34 for a pound from Sprout People. Mm-hmm. So that's not a bad price. And they're saying that, well, I thought I read that they sprout fine.
That's good.
So anyway, good to know. And we'll be looking around and trying other brands as we move forward. But yeah, if you want to grab something on Amazon, then that one is there as well.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. Okay, what else do you have next?
Okay, so Julie says, I recently watched, did I answer this? No. You've inspired, I recently watched a video you made about salad prep, but this was on the 19th. And so we've actually, if you're watching today, Julie, we've posted a new video on salad prep today, just today. You've inspired me to order a Holland bowl and use your method. What size plastic containers do you use to store your 1 pound veggie fruits in that you store before chopping? And also, what scale do you recommend? So we have a scale that's on our Amazon store if you're interested in the scale, but how I show you how to batch prep the salads in today's new video, I am not weighing anything. So it's my newest method, and I'm not putting any fruit in the salad because we have grown to really enjoy the salads, the chopped salads made into Mexican salads. Which camera am I on? I'm on the wrong camera, I think.
You're on your camera.
You switch me and then I don't know. And so I don't weigh them anymore. So do watch today's newest video. We just put it up. I also have a blog post to go along with it. And the containers that we use are the 9-cup Ziploc containers. So depending on how big you want to make your salads, you may or may not need the container to be that big. So we also have those, are also on our Amazon store, but they are cheaper if you can find them at Walmart or Target or someplace like that.
Okay, is that for that question? A new question
Yes.
is coming in from Lucy. Is asking, after rinsing the sprouts each time, do you replenish the water? Well,
no.
You dump it out.
You dump it out. So, and I will tell you, Lucy, whatever jar or container you buy for sprouting, here, I got to go the right way.
Go there.
Okay. Whatever jar or container you buy, they come with a little insert that gives you details on how to do the sprouting. So, I mean, it's really super simple and easy. So the first night you soak them, you leave them in the water. Some of the sprouts only need about 5 hours of soaking. But you know, just depends on what it is that you are going to sprout. The next morning, you dump that water off. You pour more filtered water in, swish it around, and then you dump that out. And then you turn these upside down, but not so that this is completely covered. This needs to be exposed because you need to have oxygen getting in there. The sprouts need the air. And you also want it upside down so that the excess moisture can continue to drain off. Because if it's way too wet, then you might get mold or it might just drown the seeds.
I think what the sprouts are really after is the carbon dioxide.
Okay, the carbon
Plants
dioxide.
eat carbon dioxide and give off oxygen, and then we eat oxygen and give off
so
carbon
they just need
dioxide.
the airflow.
So us and plants need each other.
We do.
Yes. Okay.
And I need you.
All right. The universe is once again balanced.
It is.
Okay. And there was a question which you just totally blew out of my mental queue here.
Okay, so...
Okay, you did the water one. Bev was asking earlier, all of these Costco bottles look the same. They're green lid and gold labels, so you have to go by the description, which is D3 125 micro mcgs, micromilligrams.
Yes.
So Bev had asked to see the bottle.
Oh, okay. And the reason we have that is because when I got tested last year, my vitamin D3 was extremely low. So I had to go on a prescription supplement for a number of months and then just an over-the-counter to bring it back up. And it worked like a charm because now I just had mine tested and now I'm fine again. So M.E. wrote and said, how often do you wax or condition your wood salad bowl? Also, do you wash it with warm water or just rinse it every time? Any other information I need to know?
We wash the bowls immediately after use. So we get done chopping salad, put the salad into our serving dish, whatever that may be. And then we head straight for the sink and rinse it out with warm water and swish it around and give it another rinse and then grab a towel and dry it immediately. If something's stuck in there, if some hummus got on there or something and you need to grab the dishcloth that may have a trace of soap on it, and then we'll scrub with that and then again immediately rinse. But I don't involve soap in rinsing mine out. I just use hot water and rinse it out.
Yeah, just use whatever soap is in the
and then dry it immediately.
Residual.
So far as oiling or wax oil blend dressing on there, I put it on when it starts to look a little dry, where the wood's starting to get a little chalky or whatever. If I was going to put a time frame around it, I'd say that's probably a once a month kind of thing. But it really is subject to how much use you're giving it, and what how it's being handled in general. So so that's the was there a third question or was that
any other things that she needs to know?
Not that I can think of. Just keep it dressed and over time, I've had to, on Tami's cherry wood bowl for whatever reason, I've had to grab a little sandpaper and sand the bottom of that because she uses it so much. She it's getting chopped in 360 days a year, and so she does put gets a little bit rough in there. So I do just a little bit of sandpaper and it smoothed it right down. So we've shown on many of our bowl videos, they're full of cut marks and chop marks and green patina. It's a tool. It's a tool to make chopped salads, and so it's going to be looking like it's used as a tool that it is. So
it does.
Anyway,
it does look used.
All right. Any other questions? Are we caught up with those?
Oh, I was going to show them these. I love these. I get these at the farmer's market. Oh, it's okay.
Go to your camera.
These are sunflower greens, and they kind of look sprouty to me, but I don't know if we can grow these ourselves or not. But Tom likes to just eat these as a snack.
Yeah.
He just puts them in a bowl and eats them as a snack, and they're really delicious. And I like adding them to my salads as well. And then I wanted to show them the refrigerator hack that I came up with.
Okay, but let's do. But there was another question.
Okay, sure.
I remembered the question I had lost. It was from Dale. Dale is asking, what is the name of the health food store where you bought the jars?
Sunrise Natural Health was the name of the health food store, and we stopped at the one that was up in Auburn. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the one here. It was up in Auburn.
Yeah, and then 1922, Misty Blue's asking if we watched Seaspiracy. I don't know that I've
Cowspiracy?
Seaspiracy.
No, we haven't seen that.
Must be about the
ocean
fish food chain.
No, we haven't seen that.
Probably equally as horrible as what goes on with land animals.
Yeah, those are always so disturbing. So I kind of wanted to, can I share my refrigerator hack?
Yes.
So you guys, those of you who follow us on a regular basis know that I love to batch prep our food, and we like to store the batch prepped potatoes in the refrigerator and in an open container because that keeps them from getting soggy and moist. And so we really like that. And I was thinking the other day, I wish I had like some kind of a rack that I could put over the top of them, because there's a large amount of space above them that just gets wasted since, you know, they don't have a lid on them and I can't stack anything on top of them. And so then I'll show you, are you going to hold that up for me, honey?
Yeah, yeah. Seaspiracy's on Netflix, so we can catch up with that. Is that?
Does that show them?
This shows better.
Okay, so these shelf organizers I bought and decided to use one of them in the refrigerator. So I'm just going to show you.
Okay, here's the side of the box.
What I did in here. I've got to move my salads out of the way.
I might need to.
And these potatoes.
I'm going to go run the camera.
Okay, you run the camera and bring it in. So we just put.
Switch us over to camera 1. Oh, I got it.
Got it? And so here's my potatoes in the open containers. Can you get it? And then one of these shelves was just perfect to set over the top of them. And now I have usable space up above the potatoes. And so I can just pull them out, these little bins out, and get my potato out and then slide it back in. And then these are our Yukon Golds. So I was so tickled with myself that I came up with that idea. And then Tom took one of the shelves to use to elevate one of the computers when he's doing things. You wanted to talk a little bit about this jar for the almond milk?
Yeah, if you want to get that out.
So yeah. I'll get that out while I'm in here.
Yeah, the other shelf is over here on our rig, holding that computer up right now for the studio equipment. So I'm going to need to refocus on you now because I had to change the focus for the refrigerator. So
no worries. So anyway, that just, I thought that you guys might find that to be valuable. It might be something that you will be able to use also. So another hack that I discovered here a while back is I had made 2 pans of lasagna because our daughter and her family were coming over, and I wanted to have extra to be able to send some lasagna home with them. And I couldn't I couldn't stack them one on top of the other, the 2 9x13 pans. And so I have a small jelly roll pan or a baking sheet. I took it and I put it over the 1 9x13 that I had on the bottom, put the baking sheet over the top of it, and then I was able to set another pan of lasagna on top of it. And so I was able to, utilize the space really well in the refrigerator. So I'm so proud of myself when I can do something spatial, because Tom's usually the one that can figure out how to fit more things in a small space.
Okay, there's an urgent question about these potatoes. Are you storing uncooked potatoes in the refrigerator?
No, those are all cooked. They're all baked.
Yeah. So we
eat a lot of potatoes.
Yeah, we go through a lot of potatoes. So yeah, those are all cooked and in advance, and then refrigerated, and then the starch becomes more resistant, so it digests slower. So there's actually a benefit to that. And then we air fry them or turn them into chipotle nacho cheese sauce or whatever
that
afterwards.
Didn't happen today yet, did it? No,
today's been a little bit full. So no, Marcia, do not refrigerate your uncooked potatoes. We keep ours, we do buy a lot of potatoes, and we have another refrigerator out in the shop that we just keep at like 48 degrees or something, not refrigerator temperature. We keep it at cellar temperature, and we do throw all of our backup potatoes in there. So, but we're not keeping them, at 37 or 42 degrees like the range on a usual refrigerator. So, so that question was going by. Let's see. Jennifer Diamond's asking, what recipe did you use for the lasagna?
What did I use? What?
Jennifer Diamond's asking, what recipe did you use for the lasagna?
Oh, well, the Nutmeg Notebook recipe,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, that's
So
her.
we have a video and a blog post on the lasagna. So I have a recipe for the marinara and the tofu ricotta, and
it's a series of videos. They're all, I've got them all, cross-referenced with each other in the show notes or maybe even on a playlist.
Yeah, and we even have one video of me assembling it. So we have a video on how to make the marinara, and a video on how to make the tofu ricotta, and then a video on how to put it all together.
And turn it into lasagna.
And I will share with you that my mom recently made it for my dad, herself, and my brother, and they follow the standard American diet, and she didn't tell them that it was a vegan recipe. She just made lasagna, served it to them, and they loved it. And my mom told me that it was one of the best lasagnas she's ever had. So how's that? And so it's very, people who follow the standard American diet are very receptive to it, and it is absolutely delicious, even if I am tooting my own horn. But and our grandkids love it.
I do too. Dina is asking about the seeds. You do soak them in water the first night, overnight. If you put them in at 8 at night and then you drain them at 8 the next morning. So the first step is to have them in the water for the first, and then the draining is subsequent after that. So that's all laid out in the direction. So no, Dina, you did nothing wrong by having them in the water for 7 hours.
You soak them overnight in the water the first night.
Yes. So,
yeah.
Okay. So,
and I'm sure there's probably a lot of videos out already about how to sprout seeds.
Oh, there's lots of videos. So everybody's going to have their take on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but it's very simple.
Yeah, there might be differences, but the general gist of it's going to be all
but
the
they
same.
all say that it's very important. Even in this, it says to buy untreated, non-GMO, which is non-genetically modified seeds, grains, or legumes, and you want ones that are being sold to have been tested for germination. And so that's why Doug Evans says you want to get them from a reliable seed source. You don't want to just go to the grocery store or just go to Whole Foods and buy what's on the shelf, because those are not necessarily going to produce the end product that we're looking for.
Okay. The scroll, let's jump in here. Someone was just asking about, Terry was asking, what do you do to keep your milk from separating? Well, let's talk about that, and let's talk about this jar. We talked about this last week. We had found this through the recommendation of one of you folks.
And it's on our Amazon page.
And it is listed on our Amazon page, and it has this kind of a gadgety lid on here that's got a silicone ring on it, and then you place it in here, and this is serrated around the edge. So, a number of people bought this. That's why I want to cover this, because I've had some growing experiences
this week.
So you hold this steady on the serrations, and then you give this a good twist. And
holding the lid.
Holding this so it doesn't turn, holding this, and then turning the internal dial. And that compresses that gasket, that O-ring, and makes it seal. So I've got all this electronic stuff here. So I still put a finger on it. I don't worry, to answer your question about the separation. I made this just this morning, so it actually hasn't had time to separate yet. But tomorrow morning when I get up, it'll be a little bit more transparent at the top and thicker at the bottom. And so I make sure I've got this sealed, and then you can just give it a pretty vigorous shake like this. And I'm not getting any drips or anything out because I locked that lid down. So that's a key piece to know how this lid works. Experiment with water first before you put the milk, the almond milk or the cashew milk in there. Now, when I wash this, when it's empty, because I don't make a new batch until I finish the old one. It's empty, and I put some warm water in there and a squirt of soap. And the first time I just put the lid on and gave it a twist, and I started shaking it, and that lid blew off of there. It exploded. And so the next time I tightened it down a little bit more, and I held it down. Oh, it exploded all over everything on top of the counter because I had it up in the air.
Oh, you didn't tell me that part.
Well, the first time I had to spread it all over the Arrow Garden. I had to take the
Soapy
ceramic
water.
dish out and dry everything out. I doused everything in a whole thing of water.
Okay.
So yesterday, no, this morning when I was doing this, I had it down inside the sink, real deep in the sink, and I shook it, and eventually the lid did pop off, but I had it deep into the sink. So when you shake warm soapy water, it makes pressure. So this is, I mean, it's a cool thing. It's kind of nostalgic. It makes me think of the 1950s for some reason. I vaguely remember when dairy products came in a glass vessel. So anyway, I do like it. It's interesting, but you've got to learn how to use this lid the right way. I don't worry about separation. It's going to separate. That's why you need a good lid so you can give it a stir.
Yeah, and it's going to separate because it doesn't have any gums or emulsifiers or any stabilizers in it. It is just almonds
or just
and
cashew.
water.
The Joy Company, you know, we're affiliates there. They're down in the show notes. Just one ingredient. Their nut milk bases are just one ingredient.
Yeah,
no
and so
additives.
that's why it's going to separate, and that's why the one that you buy at the grocery store doesn't separate.
Yeah, embrace the separation.
That's right, because it's full of additives.
Last week it was respect the chip. Today it's embrace the separation.
There
there
you
was
go.
a question about your Beet Boost drink. I think you've got sitting over there.
Okay.
Do you? And I saw it up here earlier. Do you ever drink that warm or always only cold?
Yeah, I only have ever had it cold.
Okay.
So, and some people like to brew hibiscus tea and then let it get cold, put it in the fridge, and then they add their Beet Boost to the hibiscus tea because they just like that different flavor that they get from doing that.
Okay. There is okay, that's Tiffany and Jesse talking. Where do you get your seeds from? Daza S is asking. We ordered our first group order of seeds from the Sprout people just this week, and they'll be coming in shortly. Prior to that, we bought them at the local health food store, but
the yield was not very good.
Yeah, so we don't think that they were the freshest. So
no, we think that they were pretty old, and like I said, you want to make sure that you're getting them from a reliable source. You want them to be organic, you want them to be non-GMO, and you want them to have been tested for germination.
Yeah.
Because that, if they test them, then they know for sure that they are going to sprout and that you'll get a good yield. Because Doug Evans said that like he just went to like Whole Foods and bought some legumes or whatever and took them home and thought he was going to sprout them, and it just didn't work. So you want to get them from a supplier who is making them for sprouting.
Okay, Tiffany's thinking she wants that almond milk judge container. So I did put that on the Amazon page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did put that on the Amazon page.
Yeah, it's
so
on our Amazon page.
You can find that there.
So, and I do like it. I think it pours nicely. It feels substantial.
Yeah.
So it's just learning how to use the lid.
Yeah. So Jesse and Tiffany are talking about sales resistance at all. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, I think, like, do you have any resistance to buy stuff when you see people recommend things? Maybe that's what they're talking about. Are you easily influenced when you see things? I think they're having a conversation back and forth together about that.
Oh, okay.
Because Tiffany's saying, I think I want that jar, and Jesse's asking, do you
you
have
have no sales resistance at all.
See?
Tiffany, you can have whatever you want. Jesse?
Oh, Jessie likes to mother hen us.
Okay.
So that's why she's a good moderator.
She's trying to be responsible. Okay, Tiffany's complaining about the flowers. Well, no, the flowers are here. They're not in this picture.
Oh, we didn't get them out.
They're over there. They're in the Tami cam.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, they're in the Tami cam. So yeah.
So here's not a question.
It's me or the flowers.
Let's address that because
my
we have
big
something
one right
coming
now
up.
is an air fryer, but we have a tiny kitchen and they are so costly. Okay, Dale, hang on.
Well, two things. We do have the crisp lid is an option.
Yeah, the Mealthy crisp lid. And
So
there's a whole video on that. Just Google.
Dougal?
Dougal.
I love our tongue twisters that we
Nutmeg
do.
Notebook Crisp Lid, Mealthy, Mealthy, Crisp Lid, and a little tiny option will come up that you can store along with your 6-quart pressure cooker. And we were sent, it was sent to us for review. We didn't buy it. It was sent to us to review a Ninja air fryer, and it's very much like the footprint over there behind Tami, the Breville that you see in that back corner.
It's also a toaster oven, isn't it?
Actually, it's getting good toaster ratings.
Yeah.
It might be a better toaster than this one because it's closer.
It's good that we don't make a lot of toast.
It's only about half the height. And it's literally sitting by our front door, still in the box. We need to do an unboxing and open it up and see what's in it and try it out and do a review video on that we will be posting on our Amazon page.
I can't imagine that we'll love it more than the Breville, but
yeah.
They wanted to send it to us for free and have us do a review on it, and so we said, okay, we will.
Yeah, so that'll...
Because we thought it would be nice to have a less expensive option for people, and people have written to us and said, have you used the Cuisinart air fryer? Have you used the Ninja air fryer? And we were like, no, because we have no reason to buy one because we're very happy with the Breville.
Yeah.
So when we got the opportunity to get it for free, so we could do a review for you guys, we said, yeah, we'll do that.
So when that video is done, it's going to show up first here on the Nutmeg Notebook Amazon shop page along with these other 2 videos because Amazon sent it to us for the purpose of doing a review and a video. So that's coming up. But what's interesting about it is in terms of counter space, you mentioned counter space, it actually folds up. When it's down, it's about the same footprint as of this one, but it has a base and it folds up against the backsplash of your kitchen counter. So
it could be good for people who don't have a lot of counter space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So that could be an option, or do check out the crisp lid video because the crisp lid from Mealthy works on your 6 or 8 quart pressure cooker.
And if you have
any
a
brand,
really limited space, that's a solution.
Yeah, any brand as long as it has a stainless steel liner. And it's just that the capacity of it is, of course, a lot smaller than what you can do in the Breville. But if you're just cooking for 1 or 2 people, it's a really great option.
Yeah. 1922 Misty Blue. I know that there's another earlier Ninja air fryer. Is it the Ninja Foodie? I don't know the name of it.
I don't know.
We have to open the box and see what's in there.
We haven't even, it's in the Amazon box, and we haven't even taken it out of the Amazon box yet.
Yeah, so they were sending us the air fryer. We have to learn more about it. Crocs in the Kitchen may have that one too.
I think they just might, and they like it.
Okay.
I think they do.
Yeah, so check out what Brian and Jessica have done there.
Yeah,
so, okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We are running out of time, Tami. It is, it's after 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So the red carpet has been rolled out.
Wow.
So,
okay. Well, I wore classic black in honor of
I'm
it.
rooting for Mulan. Anything for Mulan, the movie Mulan.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was an awesome movie. We only watched it twice.
Yeah. Well, it had a lot of great special effects. What can I say? So anyway, so that's where we are. We're caught up on questions. Who are we interviewing next week? Are we interviewing somebody next week?
There's something here. Is that anything you need to address?
Oh, the Joy container. That was on my mind earlier. I'm like a total squirrel head today. I have ordered the container from Joy because I ordered a big bucket.
Yes.
I ordered a big bucket of almond base because I go through that's the only almond milk I'm using now on my morning oats. So I ordered the big bucket, and I did order the official Joy milk container, not their blender. We have the Vitamix for that, but I ordered the milk container just so I could check it out and just so I could show it here on the channel. So I will have that for
next
show
week.
until
It's been
next
shipped.
week. Mm-hmm. So we'll be looking at that one as well.
So next week, actually, we will have a special guest in the house. Next week is an interview with Talia Furman, Dr. Furman's daughter, and she has a new desserts cookbook out, and it is refined sugar-free. And so there will be some richer ingredients in it because she does use some nuts, but I think it's going to be a really great interview.
Yeah.
She's a really delightful young lady, and she loves to cook, and she's been working on the cookbook for a number of years. I have followed her on Instagram for a long time, and you know, she's articulate and sweet and just a joy to talk to. So I think it's going to be really fun. So we hope you'll tune in next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time for our interview with Talia Furman.
Very good. Here's another. Randy's saying, ever tried immersion blender to mix joy? That's what I do. That would work fine.
Yeah, immersion blender would be great. Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could just, I wonder if it would fit in through the mouth. It won't fit through the mouth of that.
No. Darn.
Okay.
You were thinking of how you could eliminate one thing to wash. Yep. I know, but the Vitamix, when you do something simple like that in the Vitamix, you just put some water and some dish soap in it and run it.
You know, and the Vitamix gets it really emulsified really well into the water. So.
Yeah. But the immersion blender, that's a good idea.
Okay.
So, and if you guys have any ideas for what you would like us to do videos on, or any ideas of who you would like us to have on the show, you can send that to Tami or Tom at nutmegnotebook.com and let us know. So, yes. And then we'll see, like, as it moves into the summer, do you think that we'll be on here every Sunday?
Well, we got to get some hiking in, so we'll have to talk about that. So, what?
We'll see.
Okay.
If I can.
All right. What time tomorrow for live? What time is the next Sunday, 4 o'clock? We're not live tomorrow. That might be the.
Well, maybe they're talking about the food revolution.
Yes. What do they have a fixed time they start, or you have to check your emails each day?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same. We didn't get to listen to any of it today, so I still have to try to catch some.
We have to catch up.
Up because we were busy working all day. So make sure you look at the new batch prep salad video that we just put up today. And there's also a blog post to go along with it.
Right, and then right behind that is going to be, probably on Tuesday, we'll be publishing the Vitamix food processor review. Mm-hmm. And you know what, it's very similar to the one that is on Amazon already, but the one on Amazon is not Nutmeg Notebook specific. It's kind of a public review, because Amazon ultimately will be placing those around their website that doesn't necessarily have to do with what we're doing.
Right.
So I did a Nutmeg Notebook version of that food processor from Vitamix for our folks on our channel that we'll be putting up on Tuesday. So. Okay,
sounds good. If I have time, I'll do a blog post, but
you can catch up with me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got ahead. Okay,
no, I'm glad
everybody,
you got that done.
Moderators, thank you so much for being here and answering so many questions in the chat feed. That helps us greatly.
Okay, somebody put in that the Food Revolution Summit starts at 8 Pacific every day. Thank you. Thank you, Karen, for posting that. Lisa, everybody who chimed in, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't do this without our moderators, so we're so glad that we've gotten to know Tiffany, Randy,
Tiffany,
and
you'll have to
Jesse.
Go back on and catch a replay. We were all talking about you at the very beginning of the show. So if you want to know what we said, you're going to have to watch the replay.
There you go.
Okay.
So I'm Tami.
And I'm Tom.
And we help you get healthy and stay healthy, one meal at a time. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye. Hey, did they give us a thumbs up?
Yes, they did.